Hannah Storm is heading back here from the Tacoma Dome, but now we concentrate on the hoops. Nick Charles, basketball.
Boy, the Puerto Ricans are undefeated, Larry. They're confident, and they know how to win. They know what it takes to win an international play, and that's where we are right now. The United States has to keep improving. They play the Puerto Ricans in a matter of minutes. They put it all together seemingly the other night and blew out Italy. But they have to learn the offense even better and the defense and execute. They play the Brazilians, and, of course, that means Oscar, the leading scorer in the Goodwill Games. You can't stop them. You got to contain them. And P.J. Carlissimo, the assistant coach, told me earlier, it's the lesser of two evils. Make the other guys beat you. Ron Thulin, Rick Barry, are you guys as pumped as I am about this game?
Exactly that, Nick Charles. Rick Barry along with Ron Thulin. We're pumped because we'll see one of the great European players in Oscar Schmidt, and the game has started, so let's get right to the action. And Rick will have a chance to see Oscar Schmidt. He is wearing number 14 for the Brazilians, and right away we've got our first personal foul. The USA leads already 2-0 as Kenny Anderson takes it inside quickly for his first two of the ball game.
And what's going to happen in this ball game is good, tough defense by the USA, just like they played against the Italian team. Get penetration, stop the penetration of the Brazilian team, and Tade, stay with Oscar every moment that you're on, and stay with him. Don't get off of him until the USA gets the ball back in their hands.
A little man-to-man pressure, Rick. You're not surprised at this. This is what you'd like to see him do, isn't it?
Definitely. I think it creates opportunities that are outstanding for the USA team, and that's what you want to do. Make Oscar put it on the floor, make him go to the basket.
Oh, we've got a break in the action. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. First of all, the Sosa brothers. Marcel and Maury will be starting at the guards position. Andreji will be at center. Victorino at forward. And, of course, Oscar Schmidt will be the other forward. And Brazil looking for their first 2 points of the ball game, but Billy Owens takes it away. It's a 3-on-2. Owens leading the pack. He bumps hard into Maury Sousa. And Sosa will be whistled for his first personal foul.
Well, you see, he can handle the ball very well. I still thought he should have given it to Kenny Anderson on that play out in the right wing, and he probably would have gotten it back from Kenny for an easy 2 points.
Kenny Anderson looks at the three-pointer, turns it down. We have played about 40 seconds. USA leads 3-0. Follow-away jumper by Doug Smith won't go down, and Alonzo Mourning.
But I like the rebound. I like what they did, Ron. They tried to get it down inside. Oscar was on Smith down inside. Tried to take advantage of Oscar on defense, make him work hard. He doesn't really like to play tough defense, and try to hit it inside and get some easy hoops.
Well, they get it in 5 seconds, putting it on early inside. Traveling call. We're going to go the other way with it as Andreji is called for the walk.
And that was good defensive pressure, forcing that long pass, which they were very fortunate to even get it into the hands of one of their teammates. And we got a break there by having the traveling violation.
And Oscar Schmidt doesn't like to dribble the basketball. I mean, you know, you keep saying you want to put on her because he doesn't like doing it.
No, he likes to receive it and change the direction from parallel to the floor to going vertical up to the basket.
Down low to Mourning. Fakes once, gets a couple people up in the air, throws up the prayer, and the referee stops the action with 9:01 remaining to be played in the first half.
Well, it seems to me that the USA is making a real concerted effort to try and get the ball down inside, something that they didn't do particularly well against the Soviet Union team, and they did very well against the Italians.
Oh, we've played 1 minute. We have 5 fouls already. This is sort of reminiscent of the first game against Puerto Rico, where the game took so long because there were so many fouls called.
Well, again, the Brazilian team likes to play a physical game, and the United States team, of course, with their pressure defense, are going to play physical. That's the way they're going to have to win basketball games, and the officials are aware of that and how the USA likes to play, and so they try to watch things and prevent anything from happening early in the ball game. If you call it close early, you're going to eliminate a lot of the rough stuff.
Well, Mourning comes in averaging 11 points. He hits his first of the game. He's a 65% free throw shooter in the first 3 games here at the Goodwill Games. And the USA leads 4-zip. 18:55 remaining to be played in the first half. Good pressure by Kenny Anderson on Sosa, keeping him way out front. The crowd likes it. Schmidt's pull-up jumper be way off the mark. Rebound controlled by Brazil. They throw it away. The United States has it.
Well, that was poetic justice because on that play there, Victorino pushed off to get the rebound.
That is the second turnover already for Brazil. Todd Day looks around, leaves Alonzo Mourning out. Rick Barry, your favorite shot won't go down, and here come the Brazilians. Sosa right through the pack, dishes off a little reverse layup by Andreji.
Not only was it a bad shot, it led to a fast break opportunity for the Brazilian team.
And the Brazilians get their first field goal. 4-2 USA by a pair.
Can show more patience. That's 2 quick shots, 2 ill-advised shots by the USA team, something that they have a tendency to do.
Warning finds Doug Smith in the paint. Owens tips it. Smith has it again. How about a second time? Nope. Billy Owens loses the handle, comes back up with it. Fresh 30 seconds on the shot clock. Anderson pull up for 3, doesn't get it. Rebound tipped by Owens. He gets it back again, but he will be whistled for the foul.
Again, I don't think that was a good shot. Here you see the first 2 points for the Brazilian team. Nice penetration, being able to split the defense, get by Anderson, and a nice reverse layup that time by the Brazilians. But you saw 5 shots by the USA that last time down the floor. 4 of them were ill-advised.
That's exactly right. Now let's see where Oscar Schmidt is. Todd Day is his shadow. We will stay on that. Keep watching it as the USA just 1 of 7. Brazil 1 of 4 inside to Andrade.
Again, we saw penetration on the part of Brazilian guards causing a problem.
3-pointer by Todd Day rattles home the rim.
Todd Day for 3.
Inside, who's got it? The United States has it. They quickly bring it on the court, and that's good because 2 Brazilians are still back on offense. Today, baseline left alone. Todd Day with 5. He saw the opening, Rick.
Yes, and he's looking to be offensive-minded, and hopefully he won't get worn down because he's got a tough task running around chasing after Oscar.
33% the United States shooting. Todd Day's high was 15 versus Italy just the other night. Schmidt stops, pops, doesn't get it. He has an opener going right now. 0 for 3. Owens, bounce pass, loses it.
Should have given to Kenny again on the right wing.
Victorino having problems handling it. And the elder Sosa down the far side, and he is fouled.
Going to watch the play on the part of Day on the sideline. Nobody comes to pick him up, so he said, okay, I'm just going to take it strong to the basket and right over Victorino for the 2 on the part of Day.
16:25 remaining in the first. The United States leads it by 5. 3-pointer on the way. Hits the back of the iron. Victorino gets it right back to Sosa. His shot this time goes down for 2.
They make no mistake, some of the other Brazilians can shoot the basketball. I mean, this is not a one-man team. You don't win all of your basketball games with only one man scoring. So the USA has to go ahead and still play tough defense against the rest of the ball club.
Day way out front. Sosa comes out to meet him. Still out front, looking down low for Doug Smith. Victorino pushing him around down below. Shot clock inside of 10, so Mourning takes it and he gets it.
3-pointer. Of course, every time he makes one, that makes him think that he can do that more often.
Shooter's confidence or shooter's ego, one of the 2. U.S. by 6. That is their biggest margin so far.
See that result of penetration from the outside. They got inside. Somebody had to come to help out. They kicked it out.
Sousa for 2 more. He has 4 on the game. In case you're wondering, Yugoslavia has already advanced to Sunday's finals, which of course you will be seeing right here on TBS. They defeated the Soviet Union 84-78. Dino Rajda, a big game. 32 points.
Ron, I think if the United States plays good, intelligent basketball with a good effort on both ends of the court, they're certainly capable of beating this Brazilian team.
Physically, they're more talented, I would have to think.
Yes.
Anderson with the southpaw shot won't go down. Tipped around. Mourning can't come down with it. Sosa does. The Brazilians on the run. This is what they say is their strong point. Just keep the ball going. Oscar Schmidt. Now Billy Owens moves out on Sosa on the far side, and Sosa's little brother spin move tries to get it to older brother. Victorino comes up with it. His shot no good. Rebound controlled by Oscar Schmidt.
He's capable of rebounding too. I believe in the last World Championship, if I'm not mistaken, he averaged about 7.5 rebounds a game. He'll go in there, especially on the offensive board.
United States by 2, 14.5 remaining in the first half. In case you're wondering, there are many different pronunciations for everybody's name here. So if you hear the PA announcer and Rick and myself disagreeing, there are 100 pronunciations for everybody's name. Oscar Schmidt's 1 of 3, but his 2-pointer pulls Brazil within 2. 14:26 remaining in the first half, and we'll return to the Seattle Center Coliseum in a moment.
Let's all have a feel-good night.
From RDI, R&D Industries in Bellevue.
12-10 is our score. 14:20 remaining in the first half. Ron Thulin and Rick Berry from the Seattle Center Coliseum. Todd Day takes it in the paint, dishes it off. What a pass by Todd Day to Doug Smith.
And penetration works just as effectively for the U.S. team as it does for the foreigners, except we generally kick it inside, not out.
How about a three-point play by Oskar Schmidt, and that is what we are talking about.
That's exactly right. You have to be up on him and take the shot away. Belly to belly, shoulder to shoulder. Make him turn his back.
50% from three-point land as Billy Owens takes it in with the right hand, tipped around by everybody. Doug Smith tries to get a hand on it. And we've got a whistle and a foul, and that will be on Billy Owens. That'll be his second.
And right now the U.S. team is doing a great job on the offensive boards. Here you're going to see Day on the nice penetration and dish off on the cut to the hole for Smith. Good play. The Brazilian coach during the timeout very upset about the defensive rebounding for the Brazilian team. You saw an example there of how many times the USA was able to keep the ball alive, but yet they haven't been able to convert on those 2 times that they're able to do that.
And Mike Krzyzewski will go to his bench as Mark Randall will check in the lineup. Shot blocked by Alonzo Mourning. That is his 14th. Day to Owens, baseline. USA 1-point advantage, 13-20. The official falls down. There is Schmidt over the outstretched hands of Mourning, but it was tipped up and in.
Tip in by number 6.
Victorino with a nice move inside of there, but again, the Brazilians love to get the transition opportunities. Again, Oskar was able to get a good look at the basket.
First lead by the Brazilians, 15-14, 13 remaining in the first half. Smith sees Owens on the cut. Christian Laettner will also come into the United States lineup at the next break in the action.
That's a good move there. Switch out on the screen. Stay right up on him.
Smith slaps the ball away. Inside, Victorino fakes a couple of times, and we have a whistle and a foul called on Doug Smith, and that is now his second.
Here you see, now watch Oskar. He's going to come off a little screen here. They get screened off, but wisely, Smith quickly outside. Good communication right on top of Oskar. Did a nice job of guarding him, up on him. Don't let him get that shot.
Todd Day sits down, or is Todd Day still in? Lee Mayberry has checked in the lineup, as is Mark Randall and Christian Laettner.
Well, these are really the 8 people that Mike Krzyzewski and his staff have decided that they're going to be the key players for the U.S. team.
And boy, Alonzo Mourning really hooking it up with Andreji, and then Andreji comes right down and looks in his face. We'll have to keep an eye on that, because we saw what happened with Jose Ortiz and Alonzo Mourning in game 1, and now Alonzo trying to establish his position underneath.
I think that Day also now is realizing that he's not going to be stopped outside. He's got much more quickness in there than Souza, able to get to the basket very strong, should use that quickness and driving ability to create problems for the Brazilians.
Victorino has 2 personal fouls. That was whistled on him, and at the line it is Todd Day. 5 points, a 3-pointer and a deuce so far. Told him before the game that all the rumors about his school, Arkansas, leaving the Southwest Conference and going to the SEC, I don't think he really cares who he plays against in college.
Just give him the ball, let him go.
Right. Once again, a little more pressure put on by Lee Mayberry of the United States. Also from Arkansas, inside of 12.5. USA regains the advantage. Looking for Victorino. Laettner moves out on him.
Victorino's moved his pivot foot about 6 inches already.
Shot no good. Rebound tipped around. Andreji can't come down with it. Victorino does. But Andreji in and out. Rebound, Mourning, and we've got a push, and I think it's on Mark Randall.
I think it's on Oskar. I mean, Alonzo, excuse me. Yeah, as Oskar was under the basket. Let's see.
Foul is assessed to number 16.
No, it's on Mark Randall. I think that
17th foul. 3-pointer on the way. No good. Mourning over the back is Isao Andreji, number 15. So Andreji picks up his second personal foul.
I think Alonzo thought it was on him, because his reaction to the official was one of disbelief. And certainly you'd rather have Mark Randall just come in, just pick up his first rather than get it Alonso in trouble. He's such an intimidator inside defensively.
Felipe Azevedo has checked in, number 12 for Brazil, a 25-year-old, 6'4", 205 out of Sao Paulo. Three-pointer on the way again, and Todd Day buries his second one.
And Day has definitely got the feeling going for him right now. And having been an offensive player myself, when you hit a couple of shots, you can just tell that things are going to be working for you tonight. And he should be looking for a shot throughout the course of the evening.
And Lee Mayberry told me after the game against Italy the fact that he was relaxing so much more as the three-point field goals. The United States came in shooting only 25% hot tonight. Oscar Schmidt give and go to Andreji, and he is fouled by Mark Randall.
It's okay. They're taking the shot away from Oscar outside. Nice job. And that was great pressure defense by Mayberry. He didn't overextend himself. Now here you're going to see Day behind a double screen, wide open, plenty of time to get himself set. And again, he's got the feeling. And now the USA with 3 out of 4 from three-point range. See, jumping at him, stop that shot, get out there. The roll, guys got too hung up. The other players, when 2 guys were there, were so intent on watching Oscar, they didn't react to the cut to the basket.
And at the line is Andreji. 92% so far in the Goodwill Games, and we put the whammy on him. The guard score in the United States right now outscoring the Brazilian guards 13-4. As I mentioned, Oscar Schmidt well below his 33-point average. He only has 5, but there is a lot of basketball still to be played. Deseo Andreji, a member of the national team since 1982, doesn't get either one of them. The United States with the loose ball. Kenny Anderson back in. Todd Day takes a seat on the bench. Mayberry telegraphed that pass. Andreji had an easy time with it. Felipe Azevedo to Souza. Mourning talking with him. A lot of pressure by Alonzo Mourning way out front. Little give and go. Souza passes off. Ball knocked out. Brazil has it 17 on the shot clock.
That play shows you how well schooled the Brazilian team is offensively because of the way they made the good passing, the good cutting. They took advantage of the overplay on Mourning and almost had an excellent opportunity.
Nearing the 11-minute mark of the first half. Ball belongs to the United States, and quickly, look how they bring it in, Rick.
Jump the screen again. That's the perfect way to do it.
Anderson right around Souza. No problem. He has 5.
And also, they took advantage of the international rule and got the ball in bounds very quickly and caught the Brazilians flat-footed.
Smart play by the United States in the international rules where the official does not have to touch the ball. They used it to their advantage. 6-point lead by the United States. 10:35 remaining, and we've got a whistle. A lot of pushing and shoving. As we mentioned.
Now this one definitely on Randall for holding onto Oscar as he was trying to get free running around a screen.
United States foul assessed to number 16.
That's his third personal. Here it is.
Here you see Mark Randall, and Oscar's going to try and hook around the screen. Here's Randall holding on to him. Going to make the cut. There's the little bump. Now he grabs him with the left arm. He got him for the bump.
I've seen harder bumps in the 3 previous games. Some substitutions. Billy Owens comes back into for the United States. Alonzo Mourning will take a little breather. And checking in for Brazil, Johan Viana, number 7, a big 6'9", 26-year-old. Oscar Schmidt 1-1.
Day also back in the ball game as Mark Randall is going to get a little bit of rest, and obviously Mike Krzyzewski feeling that they had enough rest, getting back out there. He's doing a nice job on Oscar.
Oscar Schmidt now 30 of 33 from the free throw line, better than 90%.
Plus Day's got the hot hand. You see how he feels it. He knows it. He's getting the ball, looking to the basket. He's hit a couple of threes. That gets the defender coming at you. And boy, a defender coming at you is really, that's just duck soup. You just go right on by him, and you've got him in big trouble when he's coming to you.
Brazil is first.
And that foul was on number 5, Georgi Gara. And there earlier, the first semifinal game, Yugoslavia advanced to Sunday's final, defeating the Soviet Union, led by Dino Rajda and Zarko Paspai. Day misses the first. Ralph the second. He's the leading scorer for the USA.
That's the kind of overcommitment you don't want to make too often, because then the offense is able to get inside and cause penetration. Kenny has a bad habit of doing that sometimes and exposing
Mike Krzyzewski doesn't like that, obviously. Jim Boeheim also up.
They didn't like the call. I said what they didn't like is Kenny came in behind to try. He lost the ball. See, that was just knocked away by Kenny right there, back onto the floor. That's a terrible call. Perfect replay there.
Kenny Anderson's first. And at the line, number 5, Georgi Gara. 6'1", a 31-year-old member of the '88 Olympic team. He doesn't get the second. USA leads it by 5. We are nearing the 10-minute mark of the first half. Christian Laettner
to the zone now.
You see Christian Laettner was parked in the lane.
Well, I tell you, if they had trouble keeping the U.S. off the offensive boards before, it's going to be even more difficult with playing the zone.
Todd Day right around Oscar Schmidt. Doesn't get the shot to go down. Billy Owens says, I'll get it. Doesn't get it. How about Christian Laettner?
Well, we just talked about it. I mean, you play in the zone, it's hard to find men to screen off sometimes.
Credit the basket to Laettner.
7-point USA lead. That is their biggest. They're looking to advance to the finals against Yugoslavia Sunday right here on TBS. Oscar Schmidt takes a step back and rattles it home.
That's Schmidt for 2.
8 for Oscar Schmidt. 42 points was a Goodwill Games record until Andrew Gaze of Australia hit for 50. One of the consolation games earlier today. Day with a 3, doesn't get it, tipped up and in by his teammate at Arkansas, Lee Mayberry.
In his zone again. That man was guarding Mayberry. He never gets that offensive rebound.
Brazil quickly down court, 1-on-4. That's not going to pay off as Todd Day gets the rebound, almost throws it away, gets it back. Owens. Boom!
As long as Brazil takes the quick shots and they're not shooting a high percentage, it plays right into the hands of the United States to get them into their transition game.
9-point USA lead. Shot on the way. Brazil has gone cold. Oscar Schmidt all over the back of Todd Day. To Kenny Anderson. He has Owens underneath. Kenny takes it all the way. Hello, everybody. Georgie Guerra, number 5. He's got his hands full. Kenny Anderson will pick his pocket before tonight's over. Does not protect the ball very well.
Good defense here by the USA team.
On a 9-3 run, the almost sellout crowd loves it here in Seattle. Christian Laettner some pretty good defense, but Johan Viana is able to get his 2.
Yeah, well, he joined the paratrooper club there as he went for a little head and shoulder fake and left the court, and that made him vulnerable.
You saw the score. Alonzo Mourning in front of the scorer's bench. He will come back into the United States lineup. Kenny Anderson whistling out the play. A lot of time on the shot clock. It's at 13. Kenny Anderson for 3. Yes. As we go to the break, we want you to listen to the crowd. 7:37, USA by 9. Listen to the people in Seattle.
You know, when you got it right, you got it right.
It's the cellular service you choose. Cellular One, making communication easy.
Well, the USA came into tonight's game last in three-point shooting. That's not the case this evening.
No, they're shooting it quite well. There's Kenny Anderson getting one of the three-point goals by the U.S. team. You can see they're 4 of 6 for 67% tonight, doing an outstanding job. But just as importantly, they're playing outstanding team defense and stopping penetration. Only 2 times have the guards penetrated tonight, where they've resulted in hoops.
Azevedo being hounded by Lee Mayberry. Look inside to Oscar Schmidt. His shot is goaltended away, so Oscar Schmidt picks up his 10 points. USA lead cut down to 10, 35-25, 7:21 remaining in the first 20 minutes of play.
That was still good defense by the U.S. team. The weak side help was late getting there on the lob pass.
How about our guard scoring? USA dominating as we expected, with the combination of Todd Day, Kenny Anderson, and now Lee Mayberry also in. And Chris Smith is checked into the lineup, number 8, the junior from Connecticut.
That means Mike Krzyzewski's now gone 9 deep.
About a 3-pointer by Chris Smith, and he gets his name in the book. And the people in Bridgeport, Connecticut like that one. Oscar, nice little fake, little right-handed running jumper off the glass softly.
It's okay, make him make 2-pointers.
5 of 9, Oscar Schmidt. Shooting 48% from the floor.
He's a great player. You're not going to shut him down, but you're just going to have to make him work a little bit harder for his shots. Take a little out of him. Bad pass again.
Oscar Schmidt showed little defense, something he is not known for. A 3, and he rattles it home, and that is why he is considered the best shooter in the Goodwill Games this year. That 10-point lead disappearing. It is 8. Schmidt, 32 years old, says all he does is work out and practice as Alonzo Mourning takes it to the paint, and that's an international rule. You are allowed to do that once it hits the rim. Inside, we've got a whistle and a foul. Felipe Azevedo takes it to the hole. The basket is good.
See, nice fake by Oscar. He got the defense coming out of him. Nice touch off the glass, and then down the other end, off the rim. There you see, he could touch it once. He gets on that rim, knocked it away. Oscar with a quick pass down the other end. They got the basket and the foul. Mike Krzyzewski thought it should not have been a good basket because it was more like a continuation in the NBA, which is not allowed in international.
I agreed with him. That foul was on Smith. That was his first personal. Kenny Anderson loses the handle.
Had a little help with losing it.
Yes.
Richie foul.
Foul at time on
George
set up.
Christian Laettner.
The last 1.5, it has been all Brazil. As Christian Laettner checks in, Doug Smith sits down.
Well, one thing, with Brazil, I mean, an 8-10 point lead can be dissipated very quickly because they get down the court very fast and are not hesitant at all in taking the three-point shot. They try to get as many quick hoops as they can. They like to score 100 points and more. They're not going to beat you with the defense. They try to outscore you.
9 points, 2 assists for Kenny Anderson. He's perfect from the line. 2 of 2. Chalk up another one. 3 of 3 from the line. He's got a three-pointer, and the USA back up by 7. And we have a whistle and a foul quickly on the inbounds pass, and that is on Anderson. His second. And we'll go down the end as the United States, 18 fouls. Mike Krzyzewski was under a lot of pressure the first couple of games since the United States did not play well against Puerto Rico or the Soviet Union.
Well, they didn't play badly either for their first international competition. Unfortunately, the first 2 games they had against international competition, instead of being a practice game or something of that nature, was on national television. So that makes it a little tough.
No pressure there. Georgie Guerra hits both of them. United States leads it by 5. Anderson, a little shaking and baking, no place to go. To Owens. Pull-up jumper on the way. Boom. 8 for Owens.
Give him a little delay of game type of warning here, telling him to leave the ball alone. That is the U.S. players after a shot has gone through the basket. Right now with the zone, what I like to see players do in the zone is I like to see it penetrate in the seams and go inside. I think it really disrupts a lot of zone players who are used to having people just stand on the perimeter and take shots. When you get inside and penetrate, it creates a lot of defensive problems.
We saw that against the Italians. Kenny Anderson penetrating all the guards for that matter. Oscar Schmidt with a prayer. This one hits the top of the backboard. That was called an ill-advised shot. And now he's complaining to the officials.
Smith is wide open.
Oh, and Christian Laettner stopped the pass. That was intended for Smith, number 8 for the United States. Dish off to Smith. Good foul, though, by Chris Smith. But Smith, you said he was planted out on the three-point line.
And he's going to get to the line and probably knock him down. He's an excellent free throw shooter.
As you mentioned, Oscar Schmidt already, 1 of 2 tonight. We've got a timeout, I think, on the court as Oscar Schmidt pleads his case to the official. 4:53 remaining in the first half. The USA leads by 7, looking to advance to the Sunday's finals.
When arthritis specialists are concerned about
Chrysler Plymouth clearance ends.
Get more advantage for your family at your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
And we are back as Oscar Schmidt missed his first free throw. 6th round draft pick by the New Jersey Nets back in 1984, and he gets his second.
We're actually obviously jinxing the good free throw shooters. You mentioned, talked about one, he missed one. I talked about Oscar, and he misses one.
He was 90% coming in. Like we said, he only missed 3 coming into tonight's game. Brazil 8 of 13 from the line, and for the Goodwill Games, they're shooting 81%. USA by 6. There's the time remaining in the first half as the United States turns the ball over, and that is number 5 for the team.
Well, I tell you, the U.S. team needs to get Christian Laettner to play the kind of basketball everybody knows he's capable of playing. He really has not performed well here in the Goodwill Games.
6-point lead, a little give and go, swatted away by Alonzo Mourning, the leading shot blocker in the Goodwill Games. Kenny Anderson, no problem. Now Jimmy Boeheim, one of the assistant coaches for the United States from Syracuse, jumps up and says, get your hands up on defense. Oscar spots up, gets Leitner up in the air, takes it to the hole.
And there's another one of the penetrations and the kick-out basket that wound up going to Oscar Schmidt. This is what we talked about, that the U.S. has to shut down. They've done a good job of it. This is the first one since early in the ball game.
18 first-half points for Schmidt. He had 26 in the first half versus Australia. As Alonzo Mourning is floored on the play by Joan Viana. Viana just put a right arm right upside of Alonzo's head. 3 on the way, and Kenny Anderson has taken over the hot hand. He hits his second three-point play.
It's very important for the U.S. team, I think, to try and get double-figure lead here going into halftime.
15 for the Georgia Tech sophomore. Brazil tries to get right back. We have a basket. We also have a foul. Watch the action underneath here.
Well, Mourning and Viana are going at it really hot and heavy. You can see the action. Now look, right there, just hooks him and throws him back down. There was no foul. That was right in front of the official. Look at the official says, you know, nothing happening, nothing happening. You know, I thought wrestling was starting, what, Sunday?
Here's the kicking back out we were talking about.
The penetration. The defenders go in. Leitner should not have gone in. Alonzo was there. He should have stayed right out on his man. He joins the paratrooper club. And again, Christian is just struggling out here.
Well, we've had a technical called on Mike Krzyzewski from the United States. The United States says the basket should not count. The official at first signaled the basket is good. He comes over and says, now it is indeed good.
But they were saying whether it was a three-pointer or a two-pointer. The Brazilians are trying to get 3 points out of it.
And Mike Krzyzewski picks up the tee. And there are some things that translate effectively. Coaches' harsh words do just that. Now this is sort of confusing because I thought he signaled three-point play. He was fouled away from the ball. Now Oscar Schmidt right in front of us. See if we can hear him.
Timeout, United States.
Okay.
Let's look at it again.
Try and see what's happening. You see underneath the basket here. I mean, it looked like a push then. He's still got the action going down underneath. I think Alonzo did a good job of screening off. If anything, that could have been a foul on Viana. I don't know what they're going to come up with here. We'll try and sort this out.
Well, that's not the Portuguese.
They're not speaking Portuguese.
They're speaking Spanish right now. They're not speaking Portuguese. So our interpreter, Christina Hatfield, who lives here in Seattle, will be interpreting our Portuguese, which is the native tongue for the Brazilians. So now we may have a language barrier along with a problem with the rules. How about we don't understand the rules, but we don't understand the language also. Elio Garcia, the 50-year-old head coach for Brazil, is in the white shirt standing immediately in front of Coach Mike Krzyzewski. Oscar Schmidt to the left also pleading his case. And see, this wouldn't happen sometimes in the NBA or in college. They get the players out of there, move the players back. Now Elio Garcia says, I'm going to handle this. Well, Larry King, we have a language barrier and a rules barrier with 3:23. The USA leads by 7. Let's check in with Larry King.
Thanks, Ron. By the way, a reminder, hockey starts tomorrow. Ken Wilson will do the play-by-play, and the former great goalie John Davidson will handle the color. Also coming up, more women's gymnastics, and Sunday night, the gold medal men's basketball game. We're in Seattle, and we'll be right back.
So good.
Tasted. It's taco time.
As we are back in action, we get a basket good with 2:27. Todd Day takes it to the hole. The United States leads it by 10, 51-41. Here's the replay of what just happened.
See, again, Oscar was coming at him, and he's not a good defender, and Day's been able to do that all night long. He's made a nice lean-in move, good body control, and not able to complete the three-point play, but they call a violation on the Brazilian team, I believe.
Clearing up the matter that just happened, by the way, the field goal was indeed good by Azevedo. And the technical was called while they were still playing, so it was not a shooting technical. So Brazil got the ball back in. They failed to score, and outside they will try it again. And he still can't get it. Smith tips it. No good. Brazil has it.
And that replay you saw was Viana making the blatant violation against the Brazilians.
USA by 10, 2:15. Nearing the mark. Schmidt, right-handed, one-handed jumper, knocked out of bounds. USA has it with 2:13 on the clock.
Again, good defense. That's a tough shot for Oscar. You don't want to let him get set facing the basket. Make him do it off the move.
13 points for Anderson, make it 15 points for Kenny Anderson. Biggest lead by the United States is 12. And Rick, you said you wanted them in double figures before halftime. That's the case so far. They've got to hold on to it, though.
Exactly, because the Brazilians can chop into that very quickly.
3 points have a tendency of doing that. We'll have a traveling call. Let's go the other way with it with 150, the 6th Brazilian turnover. The United States playing with so much more confidence this evening than the first 2 ball games. They showed that confidence against Italy as Lee Mayberry going to check in for the United States, and that confidence has flowed this evening so far. On top to Owens. Sees a little daylight. Oscar Schmidt playing absolutely no defense as Owens takes advantage of it.
We talked about that also. Make him play some defense. He's not going to shut anybody down out there, and whoever he's been on has been able to have good opportunities. Here you see Oscar. Look how he just leaned for that little move, was totally out of position, didn't shuffle his feet, was up in the air, gave Owens the pass to the left, and Billy makes a nice move there. He just drifts right by Oscar and draws the foul and gets the good bounce on the rim.
Oscar Schmidt was whistled for the foul. That is his 2nd personal foul. Believe it or not, Schmidt leads the team in personal fouls. As Alonzo Mourning will take a little breather. Lee Mayberry has checked into the lineup for the United States. And Chris Smith, number 8, will check in the next break in the action as Billy Owens completes the 3-point play. He has 13 points this evening as the United States on a 12-3 run. And Chris Smith comes in. Billy Owens will take a seat. 15-point USA lead. These Brazilians have been together a long time. 9 of the 12 played on the '88 Olympic team. 6 of the 12 at the Pan Am Games in '87 when Brazil upset the United States as that man, Oscar Schmidt, went nuts shooting the ball. He forces this one, doesn't get it. Rebound. Brazil has it, but we've got a pushing foul.
I'll tell you, that was just an outstanding defense. First on the part of Mayberry, all over his man, not overcommitting, and this time Day. Now watch the good deep, shuts him off, recovers, shuts him off, stays right in front of him. Oscar, you notice, drifting to the right. Very tough to knock it in there, but then the push down underneath on the offensive rebounds.
Fouls on Doug Smith. That is his 3rd. That sends Gerson Victorino to the line. The 30-year-old was injured in the first game against Spain, and he was coughing up blood. They even had to take him to the hospital, but he has come back. He's healthy, and he's playing well.
Against Italy, the U.S. came out and pressed with a lot of people all over the court and really caused some havoc for them. I think what they decided to do here against the Brazilians is they passed the ball well. They didn't want to get wide open court situations for Oscar to be able to take 3 points, 3-point shots at will. So what they did is just put pressure on the guards, make them use some time, and it's worked very effectively.
Well, Owens, Day, and Anderson have combined for 43 of the United States' 56 points. Alonzo Mourning from way outside. He's had a piece of masking tape on that shot. This time he doesn't get it. Inside of a minute, USA by 13. Lee Mayberry. Now Smith. Viana tries to drive the paint. Little scoop shot. It won't go down, but we have a foul.
That's okay because the good defense being played now, keeping the ball out of Oscar's hands, is forcing some of the other Brazilians to have to go ahead and take charge of the offense. And they're not always that accustomed to doing it. This was an excellent move on the part of Viana. I like the way that he plays. And that was a good substitution on the part of the Brazilian coach Garcia to bring him in the ball game. He's been very effective for them. He's played aggressive against Alonso also, defensively.
Joan Viana, nickname is Popcorn. Why, we have absolutely no idea. But he connects on the free throw. He was a member of the 1988 Olympic team. Averaging 9 points for the Goodwill Games. He has 3 so far tonight. And he has 4. USA lead cut down to 11, 56-45. About a 7-second difference between the shot and the game clock. Chris Smith.
No defense by Oscar at that time. Didn't even go out on the man. He was only 15 feet from the basket.
Brian Stith, who has checked in, gets his first 2 points. Another turnover. The USA has it.
Nice play by Leitner there.
7th turnover for Brazil. And underneath is Christian Leitner, and nobody saw him.
Play for the last shot, though. It's okay.
Inside, the Leitner off the glass, no good. Swatted away by Brazil, and the United States will have it with 3.6 showing on the game clock. And Mike Krzyzewski wants to use a timeout to talk about it as they lead by 13, but they want to make sure that they get that shot down and connect on it to give them at least a 15-point advantage. Oskar Schmidt, 20 points.
He got wrapped pretty good there on that last play and taking a couple of deep breaths.
Let's listen into the huddle now with our interpreter, Christina Hatfield.
Okay, let's distribute the man well. Okay, you have to go forward. Okay. Okay, let's exchange the man. Okay, let's finish the way it is and get the points closer. Okay, let's go. Okay, okay, we cannot have this difference of 15 points. Okay, okay, let's go. Okay.
Thank you, Christina Hatfield, originally from the northeastern part of Brazil, now living here in the Seattle area. As we look at 50-year-old Elio Garcia, just took over the national team in 1989. He played on the Olympic team for Brazil in 1968 and 1980. And the fans of Brazil are in attendance tonight. I tell you what, that is what's been impressive coming into the arena. The fans from Spain, they paint their faces, they wear the shirts, the fans from Brazil, and our international friends that have come over to visit us here in Seattle, they support their team, including some Americans. How about Century, Kentucky? 3.6 remaining to be played in the first half. USA leads it by 13, 58-45. Mayberry, long shot. Oh, he doesn't get it as the buzzer sounds. We have played 20 minutes at the Seattle Center Coliseum, and the United States is 20 minutes away from advancing to the finals of the Goodwill Games in basketball. Now, let's go to our host, Larry King.
Thanks, Ron. A reminder, we'll be right back, but also we'll be here tomorrow. Nick and Hannah will host in the afternoon. You'll see two shows. Ice hockey, a game between Switzerland and the United States. We'll also cover boxing and wrestling. Also tomorrow, women's gymnastics with Kim Kameskel, cycling and wrestling. A very full day all tomorrow, but don't go away. We have more on tonight's menu, too. I'm Larry King with Nick Charles and Hannah Storm at the Goodwill Games 1990 in Seattle.
Saturday on TBS.
An unscheduled race only at the Goodwill Games. These are two large boats in Elliott Bay, and it looks like the one on the right, the Verna boat, is ahead. We've dubbed it the Verna boat in honor of Tony Verna, our producer-director, who carries on despite illness tonight. The Seattle Coliseum, where the United States trying to earn a spot in the gold medal match this Sunday. Let's go back to Ron Thulin and Rick Barry, guys.
Thank you very much, Larry King. The United States matching their biggest lead of the game at 13, and that is our halftime score. We had a great individual performance earlier today as Australia drubbed Italy 106-78. Andrew Gay's 50 points, 9 3-pointers, Rick.
Well, he was smoking. He had things going, got the opportunity to shoot from the outside. There really wasn't a tremendous amount of defense being played, but Gay's played a fine all-around game. He's capable of scoring points. If you don't play up on him, very similar to Oskar Schmidt, although Oskar's probably a better shooter and a better all-around player, you know, Gay's can fill it up with the best of them.
A couple of Goodwill Games records set by Andrew Gay's, 50 points, 9 3-pointers as Australia defeated Italy. And our halftime statistics here, the United States shooting well, 50%. The field goal percentage for Brazil, that's not 56%. It should be 43%. They came into the game shooting 53%, but they're not shooting the ball well right now.
Well, credit a lot of that to the good defense by the U.S. team. And even though Oskar Schmidt has scored 19 points in the first half, he had to take 15 shots to get them. And of those 15 shots, only one shot was really an easy shot. Off of a transition, he was able to knock in a three-pointer. He's worked exceptionally hard to get the points that he has. You see, he's leading the way, and Victorino following up with 8 points. But I think it was an outstanding effort that was sustained by the USA defensively. And the big thing is that on the penetration, where the guards go inside and kick it out for shots like they got burned against both Puerto Rico and also against the Soviet Union team. Only 3 times did that happen, and there were 3 baskets as a result of it for Brazil. But 2 of them happened early in the contest, and then for the majority of the first half, they were able to keep the guards out of the middle, and that is a big factor.
There's our guard scoring. How about 37-9? USA 6 of 9 from 3-point range. They came in shooting only 25% for the Goodwill Games. Owens, Day, and Anderson, they have been the brunt of the USA offense, as has Oskar Schmidt of Brazil with 19 points, 7 of 15 from the field. As we look at Mike Krzyzewski's huddle in the United States team as they come into the second 20, leading 58-45.
And as coaches will tell you, I'm sure Mike had them in there a long time. They only came out with 1:45 to go here at the halftime break. the first 5 minutes of the second half, when you come out, you must come out with a lot of intensity. Don't let this team back into the ball game. Otherwise, it's going to be a very difficult task to come out with the victory.
And we've got a whistle on the jump ball. We're going to do it again between Gerson Victorino and Alonzo Mourning. The United States going with the same starting five that began the game. Kenny Anderson, 17 points, leading the United States in scoring. His high for the Goodwill Games is 21 versus Puerto Rico today. See how aggressively they are offensively, along with being patient on offense. Owens works around Oscar Schmidt. Oh, that is a pretty play. Counts the basket for Doug Schmidt.
And you see, their eyes should light up as an offensive player. All these guys are offensive-minded for the U.S. team. When Oscar Schmidt guards you, look at his defense. He just turns the corner, doesn't try to shut him off. Billy goes right around and dishes off to Smith, who's able to get the easy 2 points. He's been the beneficiary of a couple of plays like that in this ball game. But hey, let's just go ahead and go at Oscar. Make him pay the price.
And the foul was Van Viana. That is his first personal foul. And the United States ups that lead to 16, 61-45. Boy, Todd Day is in Oscar Schmidt's shorts right now.
Probably a little closer than that even.
Oh, we count the basket and we have a foul.
It's going to be 3 now, I believe, on Alonzo Mourning.
That is 3. Viano gets the 2. He had 4 first-half points.
Viana has good moves. He's got nice mobility, and that could cause a problem when you get down low on the blocks. He also caused trouble for Alonzo early in the game when he was out high and able to get in and go to the basket.
Viano mainly known for his rebounding. In and out, won't go down. Todd Day comes down with the loose ball to Anderson. USA on the run. Kenny gets cut off by Doug Smith. No place to go. Mourning sets the pick. Leaves Alonzo up on top of the key. Open. He has taken that shot. Does it again, and he gets it. Alonzo, I love watching your reaction, Rick. Three-pointer on the way. Oscar Schmidt, his third three-pointer. And a bad pass. Luckily, Billy Owens comes up with it. Little playground action, and he's got the 2. Oh, we're going to trade baskets here. Oscar left open for 3. Nothing but the bottom of the nylon.
I was trying to tell you, you've got to get up on him. Make him beat you with 2-point shots. He loves to shoot that 3-point shot. And that's 2 times now that the U.S. allowed him to get pretty good looks at the hoop without having to work real hard.
You don't trade 3 for 2s.
He's already gotten 2 easy hoops here early in the second half and only had 1 in the first half.
Boy, Alonzo Mourning trading elbows with Oscar Schmidt. Here comes Brazil. Little give and go underneath. Misses the easy shot, but following it up, Victorino.
Important for the U.S. to take the time and get a good shot, work it down in there. Don't let this Brazilian team get some life. They've already given them a little bit right here with these last few exchanges.
From 16-point lead down to 10. A lot of standing around offensively for the United States in this motion offense. Now Anderson is cut off, and we'll have a foul. And that will be on Georgie Guerra. Guerra's third.
Holding foul assessed to number 5.
Guerra's working and trying to do a good job against Kenny Anderson. He's got a very difficult task there. He gave him a little bit of a half step, reached in, had the ball. Now he reaches in and grabs his left arm.
He is so quick to guard. Kenny Anderson almost loses the handle. Brazil comes up with the steal and the easy basket by Viana.
And slapped a little mustard on that hot dog there as he played to the camera after that dunk. But that was excellent defense. They jumped out on Kenny and doubled him and came in from behind to come up with the steal. And now the USA has got a very inspired Brazilian team going after them.
You said 5 minutes, Rick. We've played about 2.5 right now. The United States has to stop the bleeding, and that does help when Billy Owens hits his 4th point in the second half, 17 for the game.
Yeah, they had seen 5 points of their 13-point lead dissipated. Right now it's back to a 10-point lead.
Schmidt tries to work on Day over the outstretched hands of Alonzo Mourning. Takes it in again. Mourning gets a piece of it, and he gets the rebound. 2 blocks now. And we've got a technical foul, and it could be on Oscar Schmidt. And he is known to just coin a phrase, a crybaby.
There's that defense we talked about. Jumped out on the part of Viana. The double from behind on his teammate Guerra, and here comes the dunk, and there's how he played up to the camera afterwards, as you saw.
Now the technical foul also counts toward a personal foul in international rules, so Schmidt now with 3.
Well, I see Oscar had morning bother. Now on the next shot, he goes up and he felt he got fouled with the body, and then he started complaining to the official as Alonso came down, and there he got the tee.
And Kenny Anderson to go along with the 4 assists. He has 18 points as Schmidt, now playing with 3 personal fouls, and as we mentioned, he leads the team in that category. Kenny looks so much more smooth than he did in the first 2 ball games. Much more relaxed.
On the other end, when that tee was going on, Kenny had gone in to the hole, had an opportunity to pick up a couple of free throws there. Good defense.
We've got a whistle, and if that's on Mourning, that'll be his 4th personal foul.
Yes,
it is.
Well, and now's a chance for Christian Leitner again. We mentioned in the first half, had been with us. He's been struggling here in the Goodwill Games competition, and now's the time for him to step forward and play the kind of basketball that everybody knows he's capable of playing, with Mourning going to the bench.
Well, at 16:51, Alonso has to sit down. Oscar Schmidt rattles another one home. This one for 2. 27 for Schmidt. He's averaging 33 for the games, and the United States lead cut back down to 10. As we mentioned, Yugoslavia already in the championship game, defeating the Soviet Union earlier today. Owens will shake and bake move, doesn't get it, tipped up and in. What a shot.
That's a great tip.
19 for Owens. Schmidt spots up, doesn't get it. Owens does. 9 rebounds. Owens for 3. Oh, that baby home.
Well, that's where they really put a little crimp in their style, because they were getting a little bit confident there, and that's a good way to kind of take that away from them. See the quickness on the part of Viana. He's very, very mobile for a guy his size, and it's been creating a problem for the USA big men inside.
That's Christian Leitner's first as we look at it again.
Well, we're going to see Owens actually on his 3-point shot. You see how the Brazilian defense was sucked inside, and they're going to get those shots almost any time you want.
Whoa! Oscar Schmidt is blocked by Todd Day, and they say he's got his body, and the official goes right up and puts his face into Todd Day. Todd started walking to him. The official went right up, put his nose right up against him.
Yeah, he said with the body. There was no body on there. He had all basketball. You saw daylight between the body. It was an excellent play defensively. You see, the officials in international play really take a great deal of abuse. I mean, some of these players, like a player like Oscar, if he were to come over and play in the NBA, he'd probably lose half his salary on technical fouls. You can't get away with that in this country, not in the pro level. Even at the college level, they don't take anything.
That's right.
And that's really the way it should be.
Schmidt, only 3 of 4 of 7 now from the line. Make it 5 of 8. He is a 90% free throw shooter, and he very seldom misses against the United States. He's missed more tonight than he has in the previous 3 games from the line. 13-point USA advantage. Anderson, pull-up jumper, doesn't get it. Victorino with the rebound. To Gira, who's got a traveling ball, another turnover, and Christian Leitner quickly grabs the ball, looks down court, throws it to Doug Smith, who gets the handle.
See, that's not a wise decision. You're going to throw a lead pass down the court. You've got small people in front of you, and he throws it to the big man Smith.
And Todd Day, I think, may have just been whistled for it. No, I guess he not. They gave the technical foul shot. The officials aren't even down the court yet. The 3-point shot won't go down. It's almost to the point of confusing sometimes on inbounds play, because the official made a T motion to Todd Day.
He probably said, I'm going to give you a T. You don't be quiet.
Leitner inside is hammered, but he's got it.
Well, Christian put up a big play here for the U.S. team. He's decided, makes his move, gets the good body contact, and is able to go up very strong to the basket. You can see he's excited, obviously, by the play, because he knows that he's been struggling. That's just a good, strong power move to the basket.
Christian Leitner now with 5 points, and that is the most he has gotten so far in the Goodwill Games in 3 previous games. 16-point USA advantage. That matches their biggest lead. Little give and go, slapped away, and we've got another whistle and a foul. I tell you what, I would have to think that in this style of basketball, almost 3 officials are needed.
Well, I think that most people would concur with you, and I happen to believe that is true. It's a very fast-paced game, and with that type of pace, you really need another official to cover all areas of the court.
Well, Doug Smith picks up his 4th, and Mark Randall up off the bench. A little lob underneath for an easy 2 by Felipe Azevedo.
Now, you can do that kind of a lob pass to a guy who's catching and put it in, but you can't do the alley-oop play in international play where you catch the high pass and dunk it, which is kind of strange since it lets you touch it after it hits the rim, right?
Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, really. Christian Laettner working inside. He has his shot blocked, goes right back up. Power move by Laettner. He's fouled again, but the crowd loves the fact that Christian Laettner is mixing it up underneath.
Well, again, we talked about the U.S. team against the Soviet Union not really hammering the ball down inside with any authority, and obviously there's been a change in strategy on the part of the coaching staff, although maybe the strategy was to do that and they just didn't get it done in the Soviet game.
Christian Laettner now with 4 rebounds, and he has to do the job now and step in and do it because Alonzo Mourning went out with 4 personal fouls with 16:51 remaining, and now Doug Smith went out with about 14 and a half remaining, and Christian Laettner gets them both. It's
interesting, the strategy. See, a lot of the foreign coaches would not take a player like Alonzo out of the game in the second half, especially with 4 personal fouls. They just kind of let him play. But again, they have more experience, and the guys know how to play with 4 fouls.
Azevedo looking for Schmidt inside the 3-point range, doesn't get it. Rebound tip right into the hands of Todd Day. Let's see if it's showtime, folks. And he's fouled.
Yeah, he was mugged.
Call the Seattle police on that one. We have enough in the building, and we've got a foul. We have a timeout. 14:21 remaining to be played. The United States leads by 16 over Brazil.
It's the cellular service you choose. Cellular One, making communication easy.
We are back at the Seattle Center Coliseum. Ron Thula with Rick Barry. 14 minutes even remaining to be played as the United States leads Brazil in the semifinal game. 79-63. A 3-pointer on the way won't go down, and Todd Day pulls down his 6th rebound. They go along with 13 points and 3 assists. Day spin move. We've got a whistle and a foul, and that will be on Vienna. That'll be his 3rd personal foul.
Holding foul assessed to number 7.
That'll send Todd Day to the line.
3rd personal foul.
Day with 13 first-half points is yet to score here in the second.
Todd Day.
Perfect from the line, or I should say 3 of 4 from the line so far. Make that 3 of 5. A good look at Todd Day. The numbers on Todd Day during the Goodwill Games. The 6'8" junior out of Memphis, Tennessee, going to Arkansas. Came into the game with the most 3-pointers of anybody on the team. About another 3 on the way. Brazil's not afraid to throw off the shot as Kenny Anderson is pushed out of bounds, and we do have another foul.
And that will be the 8th, so that will send Kenny to the line. It will be in the bonus situation.
That is on number 9, Ricardo Guimarães. Also checking into the lineup for Brazil, number 8, Rolando Jr.
Number 10, Maurice Souza.
Junior played for the Portland Trail Blazers for about 2 years. Coming back into the lineup, number 10, Mario Sosa. And there's the foul trouble so far.
Number 6, Lee Berry. He's in for Todd.
The only one of any major concern for the USA would be Alonzo Mourning, who of course is a big factor defensively and shoring things up with shot blocking ability.
Smith also with 4. Kenny Anderson knocks that one home for his 3rd second-half point. He has 20 for the game, 6 assists so far for Anderson.
Well, the USA has done what they needed to do. They've maintained, in fact, actually increased their 13-point lead now up to 18 points. They're making Brazil have to play from behind. As long as they keep good intensity defensively, they should be in real good shape. There's a little scare there when the Brazilians had cut it back down to an 8-point deficit.
Fans wanted a foul. We've got a whistle. Ball went off Brazil. Mark Randall fighting for the ball. The Brazilian won't give him the ball, and then he throws it up into the stands. And now we've got a little altercation as Randall puts a forearm shiver, but Ricardo Guimarães would not give Mark Randall the ball. Then he just sort of tossed it into the stands. So the Brazilians, a lot of experience, as we mentioned, 9 Olympians, 6 from that team that upset the United States in the '87 Pan Am Games, a part of this club. Inside, the Laettner works in tough, throws up the right hand, and shot, and it goes down.
I think there was just a little contact in that play also.
No autopsy, no foul, international rules. We've got a medical examiner standing by just in case. Sosa, baseline, inside, we've got a whistle before it, and that'll be on Laettner.
See, one thing that the U.S. has been able to do since they've been able to get this lead up a little higher is you'll see that play as you see the overplay on the part of Junior, and Of course, there was contact, and then Christian also used the left arm to ward him off of it. But right now, they've kept the ball out of Oscar's hands since he hit a couple of quick three-pointers and cut into that lead.
Billy Owens is leaning on his shoulder now. Sosa with the reverse layup won't go down. Junior can't get it. Leitner does. Here comes Anderson. He's looking down the left side for Mayberry. Lee cuts through the paint, comes around the far side. Owens left open for the three. Has Randall on top of the key. Looking for Mayberry. There's a three. Doesn't get it. Tipped by Randall. Can't go down. Vienna with a little bit of authority. USA on a 14-4 run in this last 3:45. Good double team. Sosa left open for the three. He doesn't get it. Rebound. Billy Owens leads the break. Oh, what a behind-the-back move. He's got 4-on-1. Randall, that should be goaltending in the basket. Count it.
Excellent play. Owens almost got in trouble as he wrapped it around his back, but maintained control of it. Should have given it off maybe a little bit sooner. That way Randall would have had an easier path. There's the goaltending as the ball had not touched the rim yet. And Mark will go to the free throw line. But good hustle on the USA team right there. But what they did is they got it out of Oscar's hands again. They doubled him and made him give it up.
The United States, a 23-point lead. They came in averaging 99 points a game. Brazil came in averaging 103 points. And right now, USA will surpass that 99 rather handily as we have a whistle and a foul.
Owens overplaying against Oscar Schmidt.
That's his third personal. I'll tell you what, talking to a lot of people today, Rick, not too many gave the United States a whole lot of chance against Brazil. I mean, Brazil was clearly the favorite. 3-0 in their round-robin competition as Junior hits the back of the iron. Tipped up. Billy Owens tries to tip it to himself. Can't get it.
Well, you must have talked to a lot of people who didn't know a lot about basketball.
That's exactly right. This is a lot of the media here. We have a block and a foul, and Christian Leitner doesn't like it, but everybody's high-fiving each other because they're playing so aggressively offensively right now.
Well, this U.S. team is a talented basketball team. When they play consistently on both ends of the court, play intelligently, put the effort forth necessary on defense, they certainly are as good or better than any of the teams in this competition.
Billy Owens sits down with 4 personal fouls with 11:33 showing on the clock, and that brings in Chris Smith, the 6'2 guard from Connecticut.
I think the coaching staff of the United States has done an outstanding job getting these youngsters prepared. And you must remember, this is still right. Tonight is only the 4th game that they have played in international competition. They average 20 years of age. The Brazilian team averages 27 years of age. And as I said in the game the other night, if you were to have this USA team together and have seven more years of experience for each of these players and had them together, think how good they would be in comparison to what the Brazilians are right now.
In fact, there's only 3 players, Billy Owens, Christian Leitner, and Doug Smith, that have international experience, and only 2 coaches really with major international experience. Todd Day looks at the 3. Oscar Schmidt trying to play some defense. Randall. There's the run for the United States in the last 5. Looking for Schmidt. Shot clock inside of 10. Smith dishes off to Leitner, works the baseline, and he is taking a pounding right now, but he's picking up the slack as the 3 big men for the United States. Morning, Smith and Owens all with 4.
You know, if you can make free throws, you don't mind taking a pounding going to the basket. You see low penetration. That forced Junior to come over to help out. That left a clean path for Christian to be able to get to the basket, and he drew the foul. But penetration is the one thing that coaches really hate to see happening against their ball club because it creates so many problems for your defense.
10 points, 5 rebounds for Christian Leitner. What a year he had for Duke and Mike Krzyzewski. Out of Angola, New York, he hits them both. Perfect from the line.
And he stepped forward. I'm happy for him. This is going to make him a better player come the gold medal game on Sunday, because there's no way that the U.S. team should lose this basketball game right now.
If he lives through it, our producer said, and that is true. He's going to be one sore puppy tomorrow morning. Of course, tomorrow is an off day here at the Goodwill Games for basketball, but we'll have a lot of action on the Goodwill Games with Hannah Storm and Nick Charles and the rest of our crew. Sosa gets the 2. That is his first 2 of the game. 88-67, 21-point USA advantage. Looking forward to that final against Yugoslavia Sunday right here on TBS. Todd Day has to get rid of it to Smith. Pull-up jumper on the way. Yes.
Well, Smith starting to play the way that he had showed he was capable of playing. He was tight as, he's just so tight, I mean, I like to say the old proverbial tight as a drum.
Well, not much defense down the bank for the United States, but they still lead by 21, nearing that 10-minute mark in the second half. Leitner today takes a dribble, has to kick it back out. The United States just looking for that three-point shot now. Leitner loses the handle, shot clock nearing 10. Randall trying to post down low on Vienna. Shot clock down to 5. Todd Day with a long jumper, in and out, no good. Rebound controlled by Junior. Outlet to Sousa. 2-on-1. He takes it off the glass for his 6 quick points.
They can't have a breakdown defensively. There's no way to lose this game if they play with good intensity on the defensive end of the court. Scoring points is never going to be a problem in international competition. It's your defense that keys the victory.
The lead is cut to 19. That sounds like a lot, but in international basketball, that can be made up very quickly. Todd Day, the high archer, won't go down. Leitner battling underneath, throws up the shot, is hammered, no foul. Rebound controlled by the Brazilians. Sousa, he's had the hot hand. 8 straight points by Maurice Sousa, the 28-year-old from Sao Paulo.
I'm glad to see. I was really just thinking maybe Alonzo Mourning might want to get put back in the ball game, and no sooner was I thinking it than Mike Krzyzewski has him over there at the scores table along with Kenny Anderson, because right now the U.S. team not playing effectively on either end of the court.
Need to move more, a little more offensively. Mayberry dumps it off. Smith with the jumper, and he buries it for 3.
There's that penetration kick out. That reminds you of the international game.
8 points for Smith, and we have a traveling ball down the other end.
And we'll get substitutions in the ball game now.
And that'll have a timeout on the court. And 8:36 remaining to be played in the ball game. The United States, a somewhat comfortable 20-point advantage.
Fellas, it's taking twice as long as you said.
There is all about.
How about one of the great players along with my broadcast partner, Rick Berry? How about Wilt Chamberlain right there in the middle, and right over his left shoulder, our right side, Slick Watts.
Yeah, Slick needs a little powder for that head, though.
I will have a Slick Watts hairdo in 2 years, I have a feeling, wearing headsets.
Tell you, Wilt's still in great shape. He does an hour and a half on the rowing machine up at the workout room at the hotel every day.
That's what everybody keeps talking. They said, you know, got to see Chamberlain work out. The United States leads it by 20. Oh, make it 9 of 13 from three-point land. Smith with his 3rd 3.
Yeah, you could have just said 23.
Yeah, 23. How about the shooting percentage? First and second, United States coming in shooting 52% in the previous 3 games, and they're hovering around that mark now.
See, this defense is doing that.
That's right. Defense makes offense. Rebound out of bounds belongs to the United States. Smith quickly down court, takes it to the hole, doesn't get it.
He got drilled.
Smith dancing around out front. Kenny Anderson. He has that little hesitation and goes through. He draws the foul as somebody just reached out and grabbed Kenny's jersey.
Foul is charged to number 9, Ricardo Guimarães, his 3rd personal.
Guimarães, his 3rd.
See the good ball moving, zip, right over to the open man as the Brazilian defense sucked back inside, and that is the type of defense that the U.S. usually plays, is to protect inside. And tonight, the USA has shown that, indeed, this is a team very capable of making three-point shots.
And that was one of the question marks, is Kenny Anderson now 8 of 8 from the line.
I think you might have a question mark when you go 3 for 23 in the first 2 games.
That sort of opens it up, doesn't it? 8 of 8 for Anderson. He has 25. All of those, 8 of the 25 here in the second half, and he's got the second. 26 for Anderson. The United States back up by 25. 7.5 remaining to be played. Your sellout crowd here at the Seattle Center Coliseum. Oscar Schmidt can't get the shot to go down, and we have another foul.
Todd Day. Charged to number 11, Todd Day.
Again, excellent defense. Since Oscar knocked in those 2 3-pointers and another jumper early in the first part of the second half, he's rarely had the ball in his hands. They've done a fantastic job on shutting him down and really not giving the Brazilian team a chance to really make this game even close. When they had gotten to 8 points, they put the clamps on defensively and it turned it right around.
Schmidt 7 of 10 from the line. He has 31, averaging 33 for the Goodwill Games. The United States excellent from the line today, 21 of 26. Looking for Mourning down low. Day finds a little opening and he takes it. 15 for Day as Billy Owens will come into the United States lineup.
We're looking for morning, and we found the light of day.
Oh, brother. Thank goodness for blowouts. Oskar Schmidt gets everybody up in the air, and he gets another 2. He has reached his average of 33 points.
Come on, your wife Paula probably like that one.
She's asleep in Atlanta. It's late. Inside, Alonzo Mourning. That's an NBA move.
And that's where I like to see Alonzo Mourning. Strong to the basket. I think he intimidated a little bit that time. This guy shot an air ball. Had to get it a little bit higher. Unfortunately, he shot it higher and also much firmer. Here you see Todd Day just knifes his way in. Got bumped by Oskar with the body. No foul. This time this morning as he goes strong to the basket.
United States 102, Brazil 77, as once again they have cleared the century mark as they did against Italy. Mourning from way out front comes up short.
See, he didn't want to let me down, right? He just wanted to go and whet my appetite with that drive to the hole.
Garbage time. Christian Laettner will come in, as will Billy Owens in the next break. 6 minutes even remain to be played as we look at Helio Garcia on the Brazilian bench, and they are extremely disappointed after going through their round-robin competition. 3-0 is
3-point goal by number 11, Marcel Sousa.
Sousa gets his first 3-pointer. 7 for the ball game. The United States, once again, as they did against Italy, getting that 20-plus game and sitting on it. Now Alonzo Mourning really going at it with Andreji. And that is on Alonzo Mourning, and Andreji's the one, obviously the first, the second always gets caught. And Mourning will foul out of the ball game.
Well, let's watch the banging going on here. Here's a little push with the forearm. Then he tries to back in. Then he reaches under the arm. He knocks it away. Grabs onto his jersey. Now he gives him a shot with the forearm. So now Alonzo goes ahead and throws the left arm. And then they call the foul. There are about 4 fouls prior to the whistle being blown.
And Alonzo Mourning sits down with 8 points at the 5:41 mark of the second half. He came into the game this evening averaging 11 points. He is fouled out. Inside, Andreji with 2.
Brazilian basket by number 15.
That just collapsed defensively. Nobody know who had who in that situation.
The United States 5 players in double figures. 2 players off the bench with doubles, Laettner and Smith. So the bench has come through for the United States again this evening. Bounce pass goes right through the legs of Christian Laettner, who looked like he was pushed. At least that's what the fans here at Seattle thought. 20-point margin, 5-17. And tell you, Oskar Schmidt can fill it up real quickly and drop that lead down to 10, which we saw early on. Laettner takes a slap at the ball, gets it the first time, then gets called the second.
Yeah, again, we're hitting one of these little lapses here where the U.S. team's not making crisp passes, not making good decisions, some mental breakdowns defensively, and Mike Krzyzewski looking on anxiously. He obviously would like to see his team execute effectively throughout the ball game. Of course, if they had continued to play well and got a little bigger lead, then Mike would have had the luxury of putting in some of his other people and giving some of his key people a little bit more rest to get ready for the game on Sunday.
Viana can't get the free throw to go down, and we have another whistle and yet another foul against the United States. And Billy Owens has fouled out of the ball game. That is his 5th personal foul. So Billy Owens, 19 points for the game, only 6 here in the second half, sits down with 5:06. So within 35 seconds, we need 2 big men.
Well, they saw that replay. I mean, there was no, Billy went for the ball, had his hand on the ball. I mean, that was such a bogus foul. It's incredible. But you learn when you've been around international competition and see some of the officiating going on there. At least I certainly do. How good the NBA officiating really is, and the officiating in this country.
Viana with a 1-and-1. He gets the first. He has hit 5 of 7 points. He has 11 for the ball game. Came in averaging 9. And he'll have the bonus. 5:06, United States by 19. And make it 18-point USA advantage. And a little pressure now put on by Sousa of Brazil. And he is trying to get on top of Kenny Anderson as Oskar Schmidt picks up Todd Day. And Todd should be able to just take his pail lunch and take all the sandwiches out and eat that baby. And he does that. And he doesn't get the basket. You could see that coming. Oskar Schmidt, as we would say, is not fleet of foot on defense.
I know. I mean, if I were Todd Day, I'd be saying, hey, guys, give me the ball. I got Oskar guarding me. Especially, you know, when they're going to go into that man-to-man, I mean, you could just take advantage of his defense.
Todd Day back of the iron on the first. He's missed his last 4 free throws now. He'll have another. Only 2 points here in the second half for Todd Day. Give him 3 points, 16 for the ball game. 4:54 remaining to be played with the semifinal game between USA and Brazil. The United States leads 103-84.
Try out the new Reebok pump for cross-training in basketball at any Olympic sports pump station.
4:44 remaining to be played in the United States, trying to hold on to the lead over Brazil to advance to the finals of the Goodwill Games basketball competition on Sunday against Yugoslavia, who earlier today had beat the Soviet Union.
Well, they haven't played well lately, but they're up by 18 points. If they can't hold on to that lead with 4.5 minutes to go, they deserve to be in the gold medal game.
Exactly. And also during that timeout, Helio Garcia, the head coach of Brazil, kept saying the finals are on Sunday. We're going to be there, and he wanted them. He still felt they were in this ball game. I guess if you have Oscar Schmidt, you can do it. Anderson misses the 3. Schmidt with the rebound. Long pass down the far end of Sousa. Leitner doesn't buy the fake. Schmidt pull up from 16 and he buries it.
Well, this guy can shoot it. I mean, he said he married his wife because she feeds him shots 500 to 1,000 times a day at practices.
Schmidt 11 of 25 from the field. We have a whistle and a foul as Schmidt picked up his 35th point.
Foul charge to number 10, Maurice Sousa.
Some of the media that is here this evening for the semifinals being broadcast back to the Soviet Union, back to Brazil, back to France. And the media even has to sit up in the stands, and we have an excellent crowd. A lot of NBA scouts. Richie Adubato, head coach of the Dallas Mavericks here, along with Maverick owner Donald Carter. Jimmy Lynam, head coach of Philadelphia. Ed Manning from San Antonio. Kenny Anderson. Oh, that is why he is considered the best guard in the country right now.
Got to play better defense than that.
Maurice Sousa with his 10th point. All here in the second half. The United States sort of lackluster the last 5 minutes, but they still lead it 105-88.
This would be interesting. Oscar on Kenny Smith. Come on, Kenny, just take him.
If I was Kenny, I'd get a big smile on my face. Sousa, Maurice Sousa comes over to help out, and he is whistled for the foul, and that is his second.
There you saw Kenny. That was early on when he used his body so beautifully. We've talked about that in a number of games, how when he sees the defense approaching, he takes the ball. See, he brings it away from the defender and draws the foul to the body and still gets the ball up to the basket.
Doug Smith right around Vienna for the easy 2. 7 points for Smith, 5 in the second half. The United States 107-88. 3 minutes remaining to be played in the ball game. There's Smith whistle for the push. That's his third.
U.S. foul charge to Chris.
That's excellent spin move on the part of the big man Smith. He used his quickness to get down the court easily. And right now, it's amazing to me with all of the banging and pushing that we've seen throughout this game is to go ahead and see some of the ticky-tack fouls they're calling.
And Sousa hits the first free throw. So with 3:02 remaining to be played in the ball game, and Bobby Hurley set to check in for the United States, they lead it by the score of 107-90. Now let's go to our International Broadcast Center and Larry King.
Thanks. We're going to leave you now because it's obvious that the United States is going to go to the gold medal game against Yugoslavia. You'll see that in its entirety on TBS in our coverage of the Goodwill Games on Sunday. And on Goodwill Plus, which will immediately follow our broadcast, we'll give you the final score. Meanwhile, Nick Charles, our Miller moment.
Earlier it happened when the spotlight fell on women's gymnastics, Larry, specifically on a gutsy performance in women's gymnastics from the star of the U.S. team, 4'5", 70-pound dynamo Kim Zmeskal, bothered by a sore wrist and a sore ankle. You'd never know it tonight. On the way to scoring a 9.912 on the uneven parallel bars. A tremendous performance for her considering her injuries and the fact that this is not her best event. What it did, though, is rack up enough points. Zmeskal went on to have the highest combined score on the night in the 4 apparatus. Her performance makes Kim Zmeskal a slight favorite entering tomorrow night's all-around competition and earns her our Miller moment this Friday night, Larry.
Thanks, Nick. We've got lots to bring up to date with Nick Charles and yours truly, and then Hannah Nick will be here with all the action of Goodwill Plus. And don't forget, doubleheader action tomorrow starts at 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll be right back from Seattle.